Hi, good evening to our bright parents. Tonight is another Friday night, and once again, we are live here in Bright Parenting. So, Bright Parenting is weekly episodes where we share about better tips on parenting and better tips on financial management. So please invite your friends to tune in because we are already starting live. Ayan, so we already have our viewers who are commenting. So I cannot see your names. You have to agree to allow streamer to show your name. So good evening. Ayan, hello everyone. So hello. So again, tonight it's a wonderful topic. It's about the 5 ways to promote social skills for homebound kids. And of course, we have our special guest. Ayan, so I will zoom in for our topic and she's already here live with us. Ayan, no? But let me read through. So, ayan. So again, I'm Bright Jen. I'm Jennifer and a certified wealth planner. And this year, I was elected as a Little Phoenix Hwashong PDA president, ayan, no, for preschool department. And of course, who better to guess tonight than our assistant principal for Little Phoenix Hwashong, where she's also a licensed professional teacher and taking up her master's in special education. So we have Miss Anne Laura L. Zaragoza. So, ayan, no, let's zoom in kasi ang ganda-ganda ni Teacher Anne. Hi, Teacher Anne. You're on mute. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mom Jen. Good evening, dear parents, and of course to all our guests tuning in tonight. It's nice to see you all tonight. Thank you so much, Mom Jen, for inviting me tonight.
Yes. So, ayan, no, we have a very exciting topic. So, it's about the 5 ways to promote social skills for homebound kids, where Teacher Anne will give us tips on how we can socialize and have a wonderful playtime with our children. So, okay, without further ado, ayan, no? So, Bright Parenting, ayan, no, we already have 800 members in our Facebook group. And of course, we are already in Instagram and in YouTube as well. So, it's Bright Parenting with Jen. So, you can invite your friends there. And yeah, no, so Bright Parenting, you will learn to become a better parent, how to improve parent child relationship, and of course, how to be a good role model. So, this is our landing page. It's brightparentinggen.com. And there, I'm the founder of the Bright Parenting community. And on days where I'm not hosting, I am an advisor, a financial advisor. So, that's why we also share tips on financial management. So, again, to reintroduce formally our speaker for tonight is Miss Anne Laura L. Zaragoza. She is a licensed professional teacher, taking up master's in education, major in special education at West Visayas State University. And as young as she is already the assistant principal of Little Phoenix Hwashong Preschool. And there, this is a sample. So our PTA officers from the Little Phoenix Preschool Hwashong Department, this is one of the videos we made. So they're tuning in with us tonight. So I'd like to say a special shout out to Chinks, to Kano, to Pauline, to Macy, to Teacher Tin, Teacher Steph, Teacher Yam, of course, Teacher Anne, Teacher Pia. Ayan. So, without further ado, I would like to again call on Teacher Anne, and her slides are already in. There. So, Teacher Anne, you may take the floor.
Thank
Ayan.
you
Good
so much,
evening
Ma'am
to Teacher Anne.
Chen. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Of course, shout out to all the Little Phoenix teachers who are tuning in tonight. Thank you for all the support and, of course, to our PDA officers. Of course, I would like to thank also Ma'am Jen for giving me the opportunity to be the guest speaker for tonight. It's really an honor to really share the knowledge, of course, to our dear parents. Talking about the 5 ways on how we promote social skills for homebound kids. So, of course, I think Mom Jen was able to introduce myself already, and I think we're all good. Now, and I think we can proceed now to my presentation for tonight. Of course, as what we have said earlier, I will be talking about the ways on promoting social skills for our homebound kids. I know this has been one of the concerns of most of our parents, especially during this pandemic. Of course, our children are not allowed to go out, play with their neighbors, of course, with their classmates, with their teachers. That's why most of us are really having problems or concerns, most especially with the social skills of our children. So tonight, I hope I will be able to share knowledge on how can we improve the social skills of our children, especially during this time of pandemic. All right. So our topic for tonight is about promoting social skills for homebound kids. So first and foremost, I would like to talk first about what do you mean when we say social skills, na? So I know most of you, especially our teachers, have the knowledge already on what do you mean when we say about social skills. So I would like to discuss further for that. Social skills are skills that we use every day to interact and communicate with others. They include verbal and nonverbal communication, such as speech, gesture, facial expressions, and of course, the body language. It is not only, please take note, dear parents, and of course, to our guests. Please take note that it does not mean only the communication alone. When we say social skills, it doesn't mean communication. Instead, we have to give importance also on how our children would interact with other people. Of course, it involves the way they respond to certain situations, they solve problems, and of course, initiate conversations. So, common notion, no, to most of the people, when we say social skills, it's just about talking to other people or even playing with them or even interacting with them, but includes a lot of or a broader aspect pagid on when we say or when we talk about social skills. That's why I was able to come up with an acronym that would hopefully help our dear parents and of course our guests for tonight on promoting social skills for homebound kids. And I call it he or she plays. Now, I was able
Mm.
to come up of an acronym for that. So play stands for P, play with them actively. L, learn new things. A, allow children to do things on their own. Y, yes to reading books. And S, shape children holistically. So later on, I will be able to discuss each of these letters further. So please watch out for that, dear parents, and of course to our guests. So just take note, he or she plays. Now, I hope, Ma'am Jen, our parents or our guests will be able to really remember this acronym when we are talking about the social skills.
Yes, it's so nice, Teacher Tin, that Teacher Tin naman, Teacher Ann, no, that you made those acronyms which us parents will be easy na lang for us to remember. And Teacher Ann, you have so many viewers tonight, no? Nandyan sila Teacher Tin, and they're all saying good evening, no? And also shout out, no? Si Treasurer Kano is watching us live, and a lot no of our PTA officers are here with us tonight. So, ayan, we're all ears to listen to your tips for us, Teacher Anne.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And of course, good evening again to all our viewers tonight. So, shall we start? Let's start first with our first letter. So, first, P. P stands for playing with them actively. I do believe, dear parents, and of course, our guests, that the most effective way for our children to learn is through play. In playing, the child can develop a lot of skills, such as the fine and gross motor skills, communication skills, academic skills, of course, and of course, the last one is their character development, and of course, their social skills. One thing that our children cannot do nowadays is, of course, play with their peers of the same age, especially that they are still not allowed to go out of their homes and even play with their neighbors. So, one way to compensate for that is for us parents, guardians, and of course, the siblings or any person available in their houses can be their playmates at home. we also have to remember that when we play with them, we have to be really mentally and physically present in the moment. And of course, when we play, we have to give time and converse with our children. That's why our for our guest tonight, as you can see from our pictures, um, in Little Phoenix, we really try to integrate our topics or our lessons through play, because we really do believe that most of our children, especially in this generation, our learners or our children really learn best when they play. Because common notion even before that, we thought that our children are just playing without even thinking that there's a lot of things that they can learn when they play. No? And one thing for that is, most importantly, is their social skills. So I hope we can remember that, dear parents, and of course to all our guests, that P stands for playing with our children actively. This pandemic, we really have a lot of time already to play with them. But we should not forget that when we play with them, we have to play with them actively. We can have conversations, help them discover a lot of games, and of course, manipulate a lot of things. In that way, we'll be able to really develop the social skills of our children. Do you
I
agree with
agree
that?
with you on that, Teacher Anne, because I noticed with my preschooler, he's 4, and every time when I play with him and really focus on him, he likes it more, because I'm also guilty of that now as a mom, that sometimes I'm busy, then have to look at my phone or take a phone call on the other hand. So, and then he wants to play. And it's really a different experience when I'm not holding my phone and I can really focus on him and play with him actively. And that way he really feels the love. So
Yes.
I agree with you, Teacher Anna. We really have to set a time to
Yeah.
actively listen and play with them as well.
Yes,
Ayan.
Ma'am Jen, no. Especially most of our parents are working from home now. And I think that's a problem, no? Because when we play with them or when we are with our children, there will be a phone calling or Zoom meetings, things like that.
Yes.
So I think the best way for that is we really have to set time. 5 minutes won't hurt, I think, our daily schedule to play with our children. And I think, shall we proceed to the next letter, which is letter N? L, I mean, and L stands for learning new things. And as what we have
Mm.
said earlier, we have a lot of time. We have a lot of time already, especially most of our parents are staying at home. That's why we were able to gain more time to stay at home and gain more time to really learn a lot of new things. Most of us are working from home, or some of us are working in our own area once a week, but the rest we are now in our comfort of our homes. And with that, really have to allot time to look for new things to work with our children, to learn with our children. And because at times we are stuck already with our daily routine, we cannot notice that we are getting bored of it. No, just like uh, this certain time we have to wake up, then cook breakfast, eat with our children, play with them, then do other things already. And we cannot able to notice already that we are getting bored of it already, or getting used to it. That is why, dear parents, we really have to take time and exert effort to learn new things, discover new things. It can be learning a new recipe with your child, make it with them, cook with them, learning a new sport, or even doing household chores together. Probably some of
Mm.
our children doesn't know how to fix their bed, fix the
Mm.
table, or even sweeping the floor. So I think this is the best time to really help them learn those things together. And in these activities, probably not only your child is learning, but of course you parents as well. And you will be able to discover more about yourselves and your children as well. And you'll be able to really discover, of course, different responses and reactions along the way. So with that, I hope we will be able to really take time and exert effort to really look online, search online on what are the things that you were not able to do yet with your children, and learn together. So with that, you'll be able to really discover more about your child on how will your child respond to these certain situations, on how can they solve problems as well. So let us not forget, L stands for learn new things. And as you can see from the screen, dear parents, most of our children try, it's their first time to use science magic, or even enroll online cooking. In that way, they will be able
Mm.
to learn as well in that way. So L stands for L stands for learn new things. Now let's proceed to the next one, which the letter A stands for allowing children to do things on their own. Please take note, on their own, dear parents. I know,
Wow.
I know there are a lot of parents who are guilty of it. Now of this.
Yes.
Nowadays, parents become their children's teachers as well. Especially, most
Mm.
of our children are doing online classes, modular classes. So aside from their teachers online, their parents serve as their teachers at home already. And we have to remember, dear parents, that as their teachers at home, we really have to remind ourselves to really let our children do things on their own. In that way, they will be able to experience and learn it firsthand. As they say, experience is the best lesson. And as our children do things, they can be able to learn how to overcome, solve situations, answer worksheets, or even do
Mm.
things on their own. And take note, dear parents, that our role is to guide and assist them, but never do things for them. No,
Ah, yes.
we have to really take note of that, because we should not. Probably most of our parents tend to do that because they tend to give emphasis on the product itself, no, product lang.
Yes.
But we have to also give importance on the process. The most
Right.
important thing there is the process. How did our children learn? How did our children was able to do this, or even was able to pass this one? And with that, they will be able to learn a lot of skills on doing things on their own. So we have to take note on that also, dear parents. Do you agree with that, Mom Jen?
Thank you for that reminder, Teacher Anne, because sometimes me as a parent as well, I also feel guilty, na parang, oh, he's not doing this coloring right. And I feel so sad na parang all of his classmates are almost done. And here is my son, and he's not very fond of coloring, and he cannot really trace the alphabets very well. But then I realized that every time I allow him, and even if he holds it and doesn't color it well, but at least he's doing the process. And I'm so thankful with Teacher G, who's handling Richmond's class, his nursery too, that she's very patient and also gave the advice na, ma'am, it's okay because sometimes their fine motor skills are not as developed yet, but allow them to really hold the pen and give them that leeway if they're not very good at it yet. And wow, these are very beautiful photos. And I guess one is Sam here, is the daughter of our very beautiful PTA officer as well, si Mommy Chings. Ayan, no? What are these projects, Teacher Anne?
As you can see, ma'am, from the screen, these are some of the activities that we have done last year. And as you can see from the works of these children, you can really see that they are the ones who made it. That's why, as a preschool
Mm.
teacher, we really appreciate parents letting their children do it on their own, because we can really see it from the product. Please take note of that, dear parents. No, as preschool teachers, we can really know if our children are the ones who made it. And just please remember lang, dear parents, that we appreciate that our children, if for example coloring or even writing, and they are not in a proper way, we appreciate it more because we can really see the progress of the child from doing this one until we will be able to teach them, and then they will be able to do it properly already. So in that way, when we let them do things on their own, we can really see the development of our children from doing this task, because they were able to do it on their own. That's why we really have to remind ourselves, dear parents, sometimes we tend to be unconscious already, that we are doing it already for them. But we have to remind ourselves that I know I have to let my child do this so that he or she can learn this. Na? So hopefully we can be able to remind that one, dear parents. Now, of course, let's proceed to the next letter, which is letter Y. And Y stands for yes to reading
To
books.
reading books.
And this is why I want to emphasize to parents that teaching our children to habitually read books is very important. Some
Mm.
people might think that in reading, they will only be focusing on the reading skills alone. But let us take note that in reading, it widens the knowledge of our children and can also help them give more ideas that can greatly help them socialize with other people. That's why,
Mm.
especially for with Little Phoenix for this school year, Ma'am Jen, with our Kinder 2 learners, we really encourage them to really give time in reading books, because with in
Mm.
reading books, it doesn't only emphasize on the reading skills alone, but in aside from that, they will be able to also gain knowledge that would really help them to how to respond to situations, and even how to socialize with other people, especially in reading storybooks, no? Because we have a lot of creative storybooks already nowadays available online, or even we can buy in bookstores, and we can really see the creativity of our writers when doing or when making their storybooks. And our children would be able to really differentiate the difference between one storybook to another, that hopefully that they can apply also in their real life. So that way they will be able to also socialize more, or even apply those things that they were able to read and apply it in the real life setting. So that's why we really encourage our parents to really take time to read books with their children, and let us set ourselves to be good role models to our children, that when we are reading books, I hope our children will be influenced also to read books as well, because they can really see their siblings, they can see their mothers, they can see their mommies, their daddies reading, and in that way they will be able to do it also. That's why, dear parents, let us not forget yes to reading books. And of course, let's proceed to the last letter, which is the most important one. S stands for shaping children holistically. Developing children holistically involves not only their academics, not only their physical skills, their social skills, which we are talking about tonight, but of course, let us not forget also their character development. I believe that when we develop our children holistically, it will greatly affect their social skills and the other aspects as well. No,
Mm.
it that's why, dear parents, let us not focus only on the academics, on how they are good when it comes to reading, math skills, or things like that. We also have to give importance on how they are with other people, how they deal with other people. No, because in that way they will be able to interact well with other people, especially with their character development. No, when we really remind our children to be this kind of children that are good, or knows how to interact with the other people, knows how to treat them right, it will really help them or shape our children holistically, and they will be able to socialize well with other people. And of course, with that, they will be able to gain more friends, and they will be able to really introduce themselves and really develop or create their own personality, that other people will really know them for that. No? And hopefully, they can bring it up until they grow old. So, S stands for shaping children holistically. So again, as you can see from the screen, dear parents, we're not only emphasizing on their fine and gross motor skills, their other skills, their physical skills, their academic skills, but also we give activities that we would try to develop their character, and most especially develop children holistically. So that's it. Dear parents, let us not forget the acronym he or she plays. P stands for playing with our children actively. L, learning new things. A, allowing our children to do things on their own. And Y, yes to reading books. And S, shaping our children holistically. In this way, I hope their parents will be able to really develop our children, especially with their social skills. And especially right now, we are trying to be creative with all the activities that we give to our children, especially that we are not allowed to go out yet. And that's why most of our problems are with that. And I hope these ways will be able to really develop these social skills, even though our children face and see the same faces every day, can talk to the same persons every day. But with that, I hope with these ways, we can really develop their social skills more. Nah? So, if ever, dear parents, you have questions, you can just type there in the comment box. And I think Mom Jen is trying to read those questions. Right, Mom Jen?
Yes. Wow, I love your acronyms, Teacher Anne. You made it so simple for us parents. And ayan, no? So Teacher Anne will again, wow, there it is. So the five golden rules again of Teacher Anne. So play with them actively. So on my own personal feedback, I would always notice that when I'm actively listening and talking to my son, and he knows even at 4 years old when I'm talking about different topics and it does not relate to what we're talking about, he sometimes really brings my face, mama, mama. I was like, yeah, so that's really reminding me, oh, the topic. And then to really be there and listen actively. And in learning new things, I would agree with this, Teacher Anne, like simple household chores. Like I see him that he'd like to hold the broom and sweep the floor. And to us, it's like, oh, that's nothing. But to them, it's some achievement na
Yes.
pala. And even, okay, Manwan, can you help in folding the blanket? So those things, or when I ask him to, can you please get the egg from the refrigerator? But I know that he's afraid because there was a time that he dropped the egg, but then I didn't scold him, and so he really was afraid. He was like looking at me, so I just said, "It's okay, Mom. Let's clean it up." So we have to allow them to, when they make a mistake,
Yes,
then say,
ma'am.
"Oh, it's okay," because there's no use in crying over spilled milk, or the reaction that we give them is very important. Now we're there to support them. And then in allowing children to do things on their own. So I agree with you, Teacher Anne, for those activities that they are tasked to finish on their own should really be done by themselves, because as parents now we really feel the pressure, Teacher Anne, that our son doesn't have a very nice artwork and all the other classmates has wonderful artworks. But then again, we have to hold back and say, okay, maybe, and accept that this part of this skill of my child is not yet as developed, but I know he is developing. So there, the
Yes.
acceptance. And then, yes, to reading books, I agree with you again on this, Teacher Anne, because I noticed that and I read books to my son, he feels happy and he gets to communicate and even ask, "What's this, Mama? What's this, Mama?" And I feel like he's really wanting to explore. And of course, shaping children holistically. So, as what Teacher Anne showed, that there are physical activities and, of course, emotional, social activities as well. And in the mornings, me and my son and my husband, since we're only three, we only have one son. So we have also a devotional and share to him about God's goodness, although he doesn't understand fully, but he would say, okay, be good, like that. So simple matters. And as early as now, 3 to 4, I would share to my son, oh, you know how to count already. So can you count 5 peso? Okay, or 1 to 5. And he has a little piggy bank. So so he will start to learn about the value also of saving. So ayan, thank you, Teacher Anne. And we have a wonderful question here from Miss Jen. Zeta. So she's also a mom of two, and she is from Mindanao. Ayan, no? Uh, her kids are around 4 and 2, and her question is, what to do if the child does not participate in her online class? Excited naman siya pag first month.
Of course, thank you, Ma'am Jennifer, for that wonderful question. No, I think that's the most common problem, Gid, of our parents nowadays. No, with online classes, that their children would not participate or even sit down the entire online classes. So, as a preschool teacher, one advice for that, Ma'am Jen, is of course our us parents, we have also to give exert effort to be with our children first, sit with them and help them attend the class first, sit with them and really help them realize, reflect on how this online thing would go on, what would be what would be the routine, what would be the daily activities that they will be having for the online class. And aside from that, when we are trying to sit down with our children, I think the better way for that also is we have to communicate with the teacher as well. We really believe with parent school collaboration that when there are struggles, when our children are struggling with the setup, all we have to do is just talk to the teachers, talk to the teacher, talk to his or her teacher on and ask what would be the better ways, because I know our children have their own different pacing, have their different learning styles. And I think one way for that is let's just try to ask for the teachers some sort of consideration and what could be the best way, and relate to the teacher what are the interests of the child, that in that way we'll be able to integrate that to the topics and to our daily routines. And hopefully, when the time comes that your child will be able to adjust already to the online class, that the teacher was able to get the attention of the child already, then I think there will be a smooth way already on in conducting the online class. And I think that's the most common problem with this online thing. As preschool teachers, we are just really asking the help from the parents, no, because we can't be with your child. Your children are at home, and the best help that we can give to your children is, of course, help from the parents first, and then know the interest of the child, so that we'll be able to integrate it with the topics, so that we'll be able to get the interest of your child in attending the online classes. And later on, hopefully, your child will be able to adjust already to the online class.
Wow, it's a Miss Universe question. Huh? That's Teacher Anne answering straight and live. So we have one more question for tonight, Teacher Anne. So what? It's a question from Aryan Moncada. So what are the best books for a 2 to 3 year old?
Thank you so much, Ma'am Aryan, for that question. Actually, for 2 to 3 years old, ma'am, I know you all know naman for most of our children are still the start of really knowing or recognizing the alphabets and their sounds. So for our 2 to 3 years old, nursery level, toddler to nursery level, what we do is we show them books, especially under Eric Carle. I don't know if you are familiar with that, Mom Ariane. You can try to search it online, or I think it's available in national bookstores. Most of his books are more on visuals. And of course,
Mm.
online thing is very rampant nowadays, ma'am. No, all you have to do is just search online what are the books available. And with Little Phoenix, actually, ma'am, we availed the Scholastics. Scholastics is parang one one site that we're able to apply, and there's a lot of books available for our children, for our little phoenixes, that are very applicable to our children. And I think for that, Mom Arian, you can really look for books that are more on the visual effects, because for young learners, the best way in really telling the stories more on the facial expressions, and really telling them,
Mm.
or really trying to read it for them so that they'll be able to understand it. So you can also, ma'am, check or message us so that we can send you some online or some links that we try to integrate in our modules or in our classes, and we can share it to you.
Wow, well said, Teacher Anne. And yes, me, I'm a very happy mom, no? My son's studying in Huashong. Ayan, we have a commenter tonight who says it's a good show. And of course, we are a little over time. So, Teacher Anne, we have an upcoming event that we'd like to invite our viewers. Ayan,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am Jen. All right, so dear
okay.
parents, as you can see from the screen, the Little Phoenix Washington Preschool will be having its upcoming fabulous trick or treat party this coming October 31, 2021. And that's a Sunday around 9 a.m. to 12 noon. So those who are not in Iloilo, don't worry because this will be via Zoom only. So you can really attend this wonderful, fabulous trick or treat party. So the registration will be only 350 pesos, includes already the loot bags of our children that we'll be giving out. And of course, we'll be having a cookie decorating. So that's part of the fee already, dear parents. So as you can see from the from our poster as well, we have online payment, and we also have GCash transfers. And if you are in Iloilo, you can visit our school, the Little Phoenix Washington Preschool, both in the main and Ladasco campus. And you can visit. The teachers are available there to pay on site and register also. So of course, we'll be providing you also the link to register first for this trick or treat party. And actually, this will be our second year already, Ma'am Jen, because last year we just had a successful trick or treat party. As you can see from the screens, our children really prepared for their costumes, and they were very happy because they did not expect that even pandemic they will be still having this trick or treat party because we are not allowed, our children are not allowed to go to the malls yet, but they didn't know that they can still wear costumes and attend trick or treat party. And of course, please take note, dear parents, that for this school year, for this year, I mean, we are in partnership with Iloilo Prima Galao. So there will be presentations, games that we prepared for you. So I hope we'll be able to see more of you, dear parents, this coming October 31 at 9 a.m. to 12 noon. We have raffle prizes available, and of course, raffle prizes and prizes because we are, aside from this, we'll be having a photo contest, Mom Jen. It's
Yes.
called the We Are Looking for the Fabulous King and Queen. So upon registration, dear parents, we'll be asking pictures from you wearing costumes of your children, and we'll be having some sort of photo contest that we'll be having in our Lil Phoenix Washington Preschool Facebook page. So I hope most of you, I can see most of you, dear parents, is coming October 31 for the fabulous trick or treat party. And of course, I would like to take this opportunity, Mom Jen, to thank our Little Phoenix Washington Preschool PTA for this school year. Of course, you, Mom Jen, Mom Chinks, Mom Macy, Mr. Nang, Attorney Johnny, and of course, Mom Pauline for really supporting this project for this school year. Without you, we'll not be able to really prepared for this, but of course with the support that we get from you and of course from the school, I hope we can really have a successful trick or treat party this coming October 31. So see you
Yes.
everyone.
Yeah, so we are also excited. So again, the link will be posted. No, Teacher Anne, you'll be posting a link there so parents can register. And it's really, really fun as shown in the previous picture. No, so that was my son, one of those pictures. So he was so happy with the cookie making. There, he's wearing a duck last year, and it was his first time to join a trick or treat party. And although it was virtual, but then to have cookie making, and there were some wonderful shows, sing and dance. Back then, he was only 2, turning 3. He was really so happy. And we have also school age children, like 6 to 7 here in the 2 other photos where they dressed up as astronauts. So they really enjoyed because there's also a special prize for those who will
Yes.
be dressing up as whatever theme, no? So it's open.
Yes.
Ayan. So it's a very affordable, which is just only 350 because we want everybody to enjoy and have fun. And Of course, there's a lot of special prizes, and most especially so kids can have a sense of normalcy and for them to still get to have a party, even though it's virtual. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And they can view the poster, no, if it's not as clear here. So, it's going to be posted again in Bright Parenting. And of course, in the Little Phoenix Hwashong official
Facebook
Facebook page. So
page.
it will be shown there.
Yes, ma'am.
Ayan. So, of course, this is the preschool PTA parents no, who are working hand in hand. So, I'd also like to thank the board and the team. And, of course, to specially thank you, Teacher Anne, for guiding us. So, this is a certificate of appreciation from Bright Parenting, and this is awarded to Teacher Anne Laura L. Zaragoza for imparting her valuable insights and brilliant presentation on the topic Five Ways to Promote Social Skills for Homebound Kids in Bright Parenting webinar series, given this 15th day of October 2021 in Iloilo City and presented by me, Jennifer Tan Huantong, as a Bright Parenting founder. And with that, we end our show for tonight. So God bless and good evening. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone.